This guy might be about to face the biggest challenge of his entire career, and he asked for it. Yuki Tsunoda just told the world, "Put all the pressure on me." But is he really ready to carry the weight of Red Bull on his shoulders? Because if Red Bull's history has taught us anything, it's that this kind of pressure can end careers. And the last time a driver dared to ask for pressure at Red Bull, well, you already know how that ended. But first, why is this even happening now? Why is Yuki Tsunoda suddenly being seen as a key piece in Red Bull's puzzle? Well, this story didn't start yesterday. It actually began with a name you know very well, Adrian Newey. Yes, Red Bull's legendary designer might be one of the reasons Tsunoda wasn't promoted earlier, but there's more. Because Red Bull's latest move might just change everything we thought we knew about how they choose their drivers. So let's rewind a few years and see how we got here. Yuki first popped up on Red Bull's radar back in 2020, after an impressive season in Formula 2. He was fast, aggressive, and most importantly, Japanese, and if you know anything about the Red Bull-Honda connection, you know why that matters. Honda was desperate to have a Japanese driver in Formula 1 again, and Tsunoda was the perfect candidate. But it wasn't smooth sailing. His F1 debut was, let's say, chaotic. He showed insane talent in his very first race, but then came the crashes, rookie mistakes, radio meltdowns, and that fiery temper. Red Bull's top brass were watching closely, and one man in particular wasn't impressed, Helmut Marko. Marko, the man who basically controls the future of Red Bull's driver academy, was never Tsunoda's biggest fan, and if you followed F1 for a while, you know, if Marko doesn't like you, your days might be numbered. But somehow, Yuki survived, and more than that, he evolved. Over the last 2 seasons, he's become one of the most consistent drivers at AlphaTauri, now rebranded as RB, and that's when the unthinkable happened. Red Bull started to look at him differently, and this brings us to a name you probably didn't expect in this story, Sergio Perez, because yes, Tsunoda's potential promotion has everything to do with Checo's future at Red Bull. Perez is in a make-or-break season. His contract ends this year, and even though he's doing better than last season, Red Bull knows they need a backup plan. And guess who might be that plan B exactly? But here comes the biggest question. Does Tsunoda really have what it takes to be Max Verstappen's teammate? Because that seat is the most dangerous seat in Formula 1. The numbers don't lie. In the last 7 years, every driver who sat next to Max ended up with the same fate: pressure, failure, and humiliation. Gasly was broken. Albon didn't last 2 full seasons. Even Perez, considered a solid choice, has faced constant scrutiny. So, if Red Bull is seriously considering Tsunoda, what do they know that we don't? Maybe it's about how Yuki handles pressure, because unlike Gasly, who crumbled under expectations, or Albon, who lost his confidence, Tsunoda has a very different mindset. He doesn't want less pressure. He wants more. He literally said, "Put all the pressure on me." So, could he actually thrive in Red Bull's high-pressure, high-stakes environment? Well, it's not that simple. There's another name in this equation that could change everything: Daniel Ricciardo. The Aussie is basically in the same fight as Yuki. He's also gunning for that Red Bull seat. And here's the twist. Ricciardo's been there before. He knows the team, the politics, the pressure, which means if the decision were made today, Ricciardo might have the edge. But Formula 1 isn't about today, it's about the next few months. If Tsunoda keeps performing the way he is, he might just become the obvious choice. And if that happens, he'll become the first Japanese driver to race for Red Bull. That wouldn't just be historic, it could completely reshape Red Bull's future. So now, the big question is, can Tsunoda handle the pressure? Or will he be just another name on the list of drivers crushed by Red Bull?